All right, Abuja, thank you so much for staying tuned into 95.1 Nigeria Info, your passionate, trustworthy, and conversational radio. And it's what now? Day 2 of the quarterfinals, and it is going smoothly, going great. So far, so good. Day 1 was intense. We get to the semifinals for next week with the set debaters we have today. We've got 2 sets that will run through back to back. And I am sure they've got a lot to 3 laws, their personality, their style, their point, their ability to rebut properly, and all of that will count for them as points today. So welcome. My name is Kimberly. I'm your moderator for I Beg to Differ Season 2.
And I am Itodo, the timekeeper.
Yes, and we will start by appreciating the sponsors of Season 2, those who have put their monies to the season and ensuring that we get the prize money, we get refreshment, and all that is required to make this an amazing season. We start off by appreciating Hamzat Lawal, the founder. Follow the money. He's the Chief Executive Officer of Connected Development, the founder also, and is invested in education. He's giving us the prize money of 1 million naira. Infinity Trust Mortgage Bank is giving us 500,000, the second place prize money, and they have been providing shelter for Nigerians for the past 20 years in different states of Nigeria. And the third place money is going to come from 313 Bureau de Change, and they are incredible partners. We've received consolation prizes from Kolia Angel Nigeria Limited. They are into all kinds of gadgets, IT and more in Wuse Banex Plaza here in Abuja. And we've been handing out telephones courtesy Kolia Angel Nigeria Limited to participants of the debate. Happiness Computers will also be sending out consolation prizes to our debaters. And I want to say a very big thank you to Creative Fingers Cakes and Bite in FAB Estate, Life Campaign, the Federal Capital, for providing the amazing pastries we receive here. To 3J's Hotels and Apartment for lunch, we say a very, very big thank you. And to Number One Hotels, they've been providing us the drinks and other goodies also. We appreciate you. All right, these are incredible partners for this season, and we have our judges in the green room. Today, the composition of the judges changed. Dr. Majid is not available. Had a last-minute meeting he had to run out for, and Irene Bangwell is unavailable also. However, we have very competent, capable hands out there who will be helping us compute the numbers today. We've got the program managers of Cool FM. We call him the big one as one of our judges. We've got Fidel Castro is our senior editor in Nigeria Info, and he's been consistent from the start of the season as a judge. And joining them is Somi, who will be one of our judges, who's a broadcast journalist with Nigeria Info FM. We've got Olivia Osai, who is our diction judge in the studio. Good afternoon, Olivia.
Good afternoon, Kimberly. I'm happy to be here, and I cannot wait to hear from the debaters today.
All right then. So let's get to know our debaters for today as they take on this quite interesting, a tad controversial debate topic. And the motion is introduce the death penalty for producers and importers of fake drugs. It sounds like a lot to put on younglings, right?
It
like,
is.
Boy, guys, debate this. It's a big issue. But hey, when we're talking about fake drugs in the country, it affects everyone, young and old. So we're well within our right to drag them in and say, talk about this, and let's get to hear your argument. So let's meet our debaters.
All right, today we have Joseph Majesty Ojochegbe, who is 14 from the Government Day Secondary School in Karu. And Abu Francis Helen Ebo, 15, from the Government Science Secondary School Piakasa in Maitama. Good to have you both right here with us.
Thank you, sir.
You have papers in front of you which would state what angles you'll be, giving your arguments from. You can open the paper, give us your name and what you have right in front of you.
My name is Joseph Majesty Ojochegbe, and I support the motion.
All right.
My name is Abu Francis Helen Ebo, and I beg to differ.
All right. So Joseph supports the motion and Helen begs to differ. You can catch up the conversation right now on YouTube and Facebook at Nigeria Info Abuja. We'll have a poll up on X, which is Twitter at Nigeria Info ABJ. And you can catch highlights and updates on our Instagram at Nigeria Info FM Abuja. Once the bell goes off, you start your conversation, your points, your thoughts. Let us know what you're defending or whatever it is the angle is for you. Once the bell goes off again, which will be the wrap up for you to land on your thoughts. Complete the sentence which you were speaking on. You would have a few seconds to do that, so don't overuse it. All right? Thank you very much.
I'm glad you said that so that you don't confuse that and go on and on and on. Just wrap up that thought and that'll be it. All right, so we're live on Facebook, we're live on YouTube. You get all of the feelers on Instagram, and on X you get to vote. So join us on our social media platforms. You get 3 minutes for your presentation, 3 minutes for your rebuttal, 3 minutes for your closing. If it's a tie, we'll give you another extra 3 minutes to prove to the judges that one qualifies to get to the next round of the debate. And we will start all the rounds with Joseph Majesty Ojochegbe, since you're supporting the motion. And I hope that you guys are ready.
Yes,
are you ready?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
All right then.
And your time starts now.
God. My baby. My child. Oh. Imagine this. A mother rushes her previous child to the pharmacy, buys drugs with her last savings, sprays it, works, and instead of healing, her child gasps for breath and dies. Why? Because the medicine was fake. This display I made earlier was just a surface expression of what the mother of this child would have felt. Good afternoon, the moderator, panel of judges, accurate timekeeper, my co-debater, and the audience. My name is Joseph Majesty Ojochegbe from Government Day Secondary School, Karo. I am here to propose the motion that says death penalty should be introduced for producers and importers of fake drugs. The Director General of NAFDAC, Professor Mojisola Adeyeye, said the call to exterminate producers of fake drugs has become imperative because in Nigeria, many people are dying on a daily basis due to the consumption of fake drugs. Production of fake drugs is the same as premeditated murder. My co-debater, would you call it business when someone knowingly sells poison labeled as medicine? That's outrageous. It's murder in disguise, and murder in many countries is punishable by death. Some will say, but why not life imprisonment? Let's be real. A fraudster with billions can bribe his way out of jail, but can he bribe his way out of the grave? Exactly. Countries like Indonesia that have adopted this means see far fewer drug-related crimes. A severe crime demands a severe punishment. Furthermore, despite existing laws, Nigeria remains one of the biggest marketplaces for counterfeit drugs. Do you know why? Because our penalties are laughable. NAFDAC recently released a report that over 70% of drugs in circulation consisted of fake drugs, all because of drug barons that can bribe their way out of prison. That's insane. Our weak justice system emboldens criminals. If we truly want to eliminate this threat, then we must make the punishment as severe as the crime itself, death. My co-debater, do you know that fake drugs kill more people than armed robbers and terrorists? Yet we sentence terrorists to death and allow fake drug producers who have killed far more people walk free? Where is the justice in that? If you spare the snake, my co-debater, it will bite again. Counterfeit drug lords are not repentant saints. In 2008, 84 infants died from a popular tainted teething syrup called My Pikin, containing diethylene glycol, an industrial chemical used in producing antifreeze. That was an act of wickedness. Guess the punishment, a mere fine and short prison sentences. Somebody help me and act, because it seems that my voice is not enough. Where is the justice for the victims? In conclusion, we cannot shake hands with murderers and expect justice. Therefore, we must introduce death penalty for those who gain and profit from the death and suffering of innocent people. Thank you.
All right. Right on time there. It seemed as though he had a clock he was looking at, and the 3-minute mark, he was done.
I'm just curious how he rehearsed at home for all of this, from the opening to the closing. I'm like, all right, I didn't see that coming. But then we've heard from Joseph Majesty Ojochegbe, who supports the motion that we should introduce the death penalty for producers and importers of fake drugs. Well, Abu Francis Helen Ebo is 15. She's from Government Science Secondary School, Piakasa Maitam, and she begs to differ.
And your time starts now.
Poisoned by pleasure, hope for death. Her father demands the killer's head, but we're killing the guilty. Bring back the dead, or will it simply breed more death? Dead bodies won't bring back or fix broken systems. Rather, will lead to broken societies. With this, I bid a good morning to the esteemed panel of judges, my moderator, my co-debater, my worthy and efficient timekeeper. I am Abu Helen from Government Science Secondary School, Metama, here to stand my ground against the motion we state due to the death penalty for producers and importers of fake drugs. To begin with, although some might argue that death penalties are the most effective deterrents of death of fake drugs, facts say otherwise, as countries like Iran, Singapore, and China, despite their death penalties, still face severe drug trafficking issues. Yes, furthermore, under Dora Akunyili, NAFDAC reduced fake drug prevalence from 70% to 50% under a span of 19 years, but not through death penalties, but through regulation, education, awareness, and law enforcement, relating the effectiveness of systemic reforms. Most importantly, the UN General Assembly has reiterated its opposition toward death penalty as it's a violation of a human being's right to life. And Nigeria, as its member, if it chooses to introduce the death penalty, stands to receive international condemnation and disregard, as is clearly seen in the cases of Iraq, China, and Saudi Arabia. My dear opponents, do you realize that more than 50% of the most successful leaders in our world today were once termed as criminals? People like Nelson Mandela, Martin Luther King, Femi Awolowo. Imagine if they were shot on the spot for their crimes. Where would Nigeria's independence stand today? Where would South Africa's independence stand today? Our right to freedom of speech, where will it stand today? Most importantly, you must realize that more than 170 countries in the world today have abolished death penalties. Why? They have realized that it does not solve the root causes like poverty, unemployment, poor healthcare access, and the porosity of our borders. It only exterminates the criminals. Furthermore, wrongful execution. The Nigerian legal system is so weak and corrupt that if we introduce death penalty, we could risk killing millions of people. And Amnesty International is already against the death penalty, as it has cited that we use death penalty as a tool of injustice, highlighting more than 51 wrongful executions that's already been implemented in Nigeria today since 2019. My dear opponents, you must realize that there are better alternatives. The track and trace from India has slashed fake drug production by 50%. Nigeria's SMS verification code, Rapid Alert, is working every single day. Lagos is using blockchain to stop and track antibiotics. Whistleblowers saved the day for COVID-19. There are better and more effective ways to solve the problems, to stop fake drug crimes, than through killing people of different ages. And most importantly, you must realize that death penalties never reach the kingpins. People like Pablo Escobar, how long did it take them before he was caught? How many middlemen, how many minor offenders were killed every single day? In 2014, Nigerian authorities carried out a raid of street vendors, killing them while the big guys still remain at the back untouched. All they have to simply do is wake up one morning, get new vendors, and the world moves on. So my dear opponents, thank you.
I know the AC is on, but I don't know why the temperature is rising in the studio.
It is hot in here.
I was looking at the diction, Jordan, and wondering, are you noting things that, man? Because you're just looking and getting carried away like, I'm
Wow.
thrilled already. All right, I'm just pulling your legs. All right, so we've had their opening. It's quite animated and fiery from all sides, and it'll be interesting to see how they take on each other in the rebuttal as we get there. You get 3 minutes each to take on that. Bright Chimeze says, now I feel like crying. Wow, he says. Innocent Udoku says, my body is shaking here listening to these little children. Wow, there is hope after all for the nation. We'll take more of your comment in between, but let's get to the rebuttal.
And your time starts now.
All protocols duly observed. I would like to address the point my opponent stated. He said the UN, the United Nations, which Nigeria is a member of, is making violation of human rights, saying it's not supposed to be. But my co-debater, let's be real, factual. The life of those 84 infants that died from a popular tainted teething syrup, did they not have the right to have their life? Don't they have right to be served, to be given justice? If we don't address this issue comprehensively, then the tears of the family members of these victims, they will not dry off. How can we serve justice and not serve it rightly? You also see that 50% of people if of president were once criminals, that if they shot them, we have people today. My co-debater, that's a silly excuse to solve this challenge. Those 84 children that died, they would have in 2008, they would have been 17 years by now. Some of them would have even been in the studio with us during this debate. There have been future presidents, governors. Have we not robbed this nation of future leaders by killing them? And where was the justice? Short fines and mere prison sentences. Were they fully represented? You said we are pushing towards the abolishment of death penalty. Countries like Malaysia, they kill producers of fake drugs, and they've seen far fewer of these related crimes. Let us start addressing this issue and addressing it comprehensively. At least we can reduce the number of fake drug producers. You say small-scale traders are the one affected by the streets killing of people that relate in fake drugs. So I'd like to address that issue by saying this. At least when we start from small-scale traders that have the knowledge of selling fake drugs, the drug barons, the people, the corrupt officials that allow these drugs into the market, they will be aware of our stance. They will know that since we start from the small people, yes, we are very serious. And in this case, we are going to stop this problem. A UN report revealed that in sub-Saharan Africa, 267 people die annually because of fake anti-malaria drugs. Have 267 people being killed or taken to court? You talk about regulations being solved. Regulations being solved is not feasible. This is Nigeria. When we will start talk and get tired of talking. How can we fix regulation? Because in this country, this corruption-filled country, where do we have to start making noise from? Let us serve justice and serve it rightly. But you said we have the key to the well of this people. Of this problem, we have the key to the well where fake drug producers draw from, but we fail to use it. I implore us, if we want to really solve this problem, serve justice and serve it rightly, then we must execute those who gain and profit from the deaths of innocent people. Thank you.
You need to tell me what you're looking at. Who is timing you at this point?
Right on the clock?
Yeah.
Oh boy, oh boy, oh
5
boy.
seconds short.
All right then.
My goodness. All right, time to get to you.
Helen, Abu Francis Helen Ebo, it's time for you to give your rebuttal.
And your time starts now.
Standing on all existing protocols, I remain Abu Helen from Government Science Secondary School Metama, here to reaffirm my stance and prove all my opponents' point a blatant misconduction of facts. First of all, my opponent mentioned justice for victims. Where have you ever seen that killing people who killed people have ever solved cases? You are simply trying to stop killing by killing more. It's like giving a child fake anti-malaria drugs. It goes nowhere. You must understand that justice for victims does not have to be by killing and killing more. We can simply imprison them. We can simply imprison them and reduce. We have life imprisonment. They can stay, but they can stay there for the rest of their lives where they cannot give more harm to people. You mentioned deterrence through fear. My dear opponent, I'm very sorry to shock you, but there is no substantial evidence. There is no particular country where a deterrence through fear, where death penalties have reduced fake drug production. Even Nigeria, where we had in 2001, 2020, under the Rakini, we did not use death penalties. We used enforcement. So those are practical theories. My dear opponent, you must realize that emotional appeal at this point will not work. What we're working with is fact. It is a debate. My opponent also mentioned that there are soft penalties. These soft penalties will go nowhere. My dear opponent, you must realize that we can thicken the penalties. That is what Professor Moji Sola Adeoye was going on about, that we need stricter penalties. But we do not have to drift to the point of killing another human being. Because who knows, those fake drug barons might have forced them to come into that business. We have heard countless stories of millions of people who have been forced into the business of fake drugs. They cannot leave because who knows what they have on them. So why don't we have mercy? Why don't we have mercy before it is too late? We all plead for mercy every single day from God. So why don't we have mercy on the people around us? You also mentioned a weak justice system. Where does that come from, if not corruption? So why don't we stop blaming people Why don't we start working to fix our nation? Because snakes are not human beings. You mentioned something about snakes, that if a snake came here and ate us, we are human beings. You cannot compare us to low-life animals. And you also mentioned Malaysia, that Malaysia is using death penalties. Let me shock you. Malaysia is combining death penalties with other materials because they have realized that death penalties are not enough. They have to resort to other substantial evidences, other substantial penalties, other substantial technical solutions. They tell other people and they make sure that each and every fake drug criminal out there is brought into book but not killed, because everybody has a right to life. My dear opponents, you must understand that more than 50% of Nigerians in the world today are against your motion. They are speaking for the fact that they also have a right to life. The people, they are sinners, we understand, but why not give them the chance to rehabilitate, the chance to be better? Thank you.
All right. Energy for energy in the rebuttal also. Sam for God is recommending that you guys go on YouTube and watch the debate also. He's saying that YouTube is the best platform to watch I Beg to Differ. The drama, the presentation today, it caught me. It caught me and I couldn't help but appreciate these kids. I don't envy the judges today because their hands, oh boy, are full. You Sam for God, thank you very much for that. So, gentlemen, lady, are you ready for the closing?
Yes.
Remember, it's 3 minutes each. So let's get right into it.
All right. And your time starts now.
All protocols duly observed. My opponent was presenting shocking news, but let me also shock you. You said that we should focus on life imprisonment. I'll do the expenses. People that have killed thousands of people, we should now give them luxury in prison with our taxes. Our taxes should be used to give them luxury in prison. They should be given the place, the appropriate place, 6 feet beneath the ground because of what they did. Trample upon the dignity of humanity of people. You also said our judiciary system, we can try them to court and all those claims you made. But I'd like you to know that you have an excuse in dropping the efficiency of our judiciary system. Are you trying to tell me that we'll just kill innocent people? From Court of Appeal to the Supreme Court and other courts, we cannot serve justice rightly. I also said, where do we start? We have to start addressing this issue comprehensively, as you said. But our prisons are filled. How many prisons do we have to keep these people? Governors are not even willing to sign death warrant. So, and you also said that corruption is the issue, that we have to solve corruption. That is exactly my motive. If we cannot solve these root causes, push on it, and with this cases not continue to happen, and if they happen with no available means of curbing it, should we not just resort to killing those that trample upon the life of others? When I walk in the streets of Kara, I see obituary posters everywhere of people not up to 30 years. They died because of what even the doctors cannot explain. Fake drugs. 267 people killed every year in the name of fake drugs. Yet you cannot have justice for them. You said tamper justice with mercy. The dog criminal, did they not think about mercy before they engaged in what they did? You also said, when you're talking about we should start mercy, imprisonment. How many prisons do we have? Mercy for the guilty is cruelty for the innocent. Let the victims, the families of the victim, let them be able to sleep at night. Let us serve justice. God forbid if your brother was a victim of fake drugs, sincerely, how would you feel? And which method will you suggest of having justice for yourself? So you also talked about using death penalty. That is why we are here today, because they don't. Not using death penalty. That is why we are here today, because death penalty is not
the way.
It's not imposed. That's why we are having difficulty. A fake drug producer, when he watches this debate, Helen, he will smile with you. Do you know why? Because life imprisonment does not work for him. It's just like luxury. We must send a strong deterrent. He will concur with you, obviously. He will just have luxury in prison. After all, networks can still operate if they are still in prison. Thank you.
All right. Joseph Majesty Ojochegbe there, and he's giving us his final presentation. Abu Francis Helen Ebo, this is your moment.
Okay.
And your time starts now.
Ladies and gentlemen, we must understand that Nigeria's battle against fake drugs does not demand death. It does not demand vengeance. It demands justice. It demands systemic reforms, not symbolic brutality. My opponent here is mentioning that people are dying every day, that fake drugs are killing them. But honestly, what do we gain if we keep killing more? We end up getting a nation where blood stains every single where you go. The emotion set before us is like a moral quicksand, irreversible, reactionary, and blind to the root of the causes. But we must choose to see the light in the darkness. We must learn how to decipher truth from lies. So, City Protocols, I remain Abu Helen from Government Science Secondary School Metama, here to stand my ground and reaffirm my stance against the motion we state, introduce the death penalties for producers and importers of fake drugs. But before I do so, I would like to clarify, as my opponent still seems to be stumbling on some mere unimportant facts. You mentioned life imprisonment, that it was wasting money. Let me tell you something. Every year, for every death row Nigeria creates, Nigeria spends 1.2 million naira. But for every life imprisonment, we spend a mere 500,000.
That's it.
Money is going. Money is going every single day. You cannot argue with facts. You also mentioned that these things are leading to the death of innocent people. But the same death penalties will lead to the death of more innocent people. You can imagine Chidi, a struggling pharmacist framed by competitors. And then one day he's executed hastily before evidence can exonerate him. Can we not reverse this thing before it is too late? You also mentioned that government are not willingly throwing death warrants around. Dear opponent, you shot yourself in the leg by mentioning that point. Honestly, I do not understand what my opponent has been trying to say, because honestly, all I can see is that mercy for people, because you do not know who might be who tomorrow. So I would like to leave you all with some irrefutable facts. In a justice system like Nigeria that is riddled with flaws, we must learn, we must be able to understand that these death penalties are gambles with innocent lives. The National Human Rights Commission has said that more than 60% of detainees in Nigerian prisons today did not commit crimes, but they await trials for millions and years upon years to come, trapped in the labyrinths of corruption and procedural delays. My dear opponent, you must realize by now that execution is not the solution. There are better ways. Nigeria's victory against fake drugs lies in reforms and not retribution. It lies in health, building who we are and not destroying the people we already have. Nigeria can solve this if we could improve our healthcare access. Many people go into fake drugs because they do not have access to proper healthcare. If we can provide all this, combine technology, combine teamwork with organizations, we can be sure to prove and create a better place for each and every single Nigerian. Why don't we make genuine drugs available and make sure that each and every Nigerian is safe? Because we are all Nigerians and we all have our rights to life. Finally, this is who we are. This is about who we are as a nation. Do you want to become a blood-sucking demon? Or you want to build the world better and stronger? Thank you.
Quite interesting. Victor Ifeanyi is wowed. James Jerry is speechless. Uzo Amaka is thinking great, amazing mind. Bright Chimeze says at this point, I do not envy the judges at all. Amazing debate so far. Others are saying my best yet. All right, it's good to know you're thrilled.
Well, Yossi Kabira right here says, look at how passionate these kids are talking. So amazing. I feel like crying with Majesty's presentation. While that of Helen is really fiery. This is more than a debate and advocacy. The government needs to see this. Go, guys. And David Sipita Ibrahim, wonderful points from both debaters. Well done.
All right. Well, let's take a quick moment and find out from our addiction judge. She's been scribbling, but also follow the debate intensely. Olivia?
Thank you, Kimberly. All right, I'll start with you, Joseph. You supported the motion. Great debate for both ends. Well done to both of you. So, but you still had some pronunciation challenges, and here are the ones that I pointed out. We have the word breath, okay? Your TH word. It's important that you pronounce the words correctly. Breath, this and not this, that, those and not those and that. Producers is that word and not producers. Producers, consumption, not consumption, like you said. Eliminate. So in that word, the stress is not the way that you would say it, as in eliminate is wrong. The correct way to say it is eliminate. Challenge, the stress is also on the second and not the first. Challenge and not challenge. Addressing, not addressing. Addressing. So you said small scale traders are the one affected. Okay, so you're correcting yourself. That's good. The ones affected and not one affected. Observed and not observed. Luxury and not luxury. You scored a 2/3 in your diction. Well done. Helen, the word is although and not although. Severe and not severe. Through, not true. Because if you say true, it would mean another thing. Through, reiterated and not reiterated. Health and not health. Introduce. Okay? Introduce and not the way you said it. Blatant and not blatant. I was surprised when you said that. Blatant is the word. Opponent. We've corrected this before. Opponent. And yes, you scored a 2/3 in your diction. Well done.
So it's a tie in the diction. I wish the judges the very best. I don't envy them, but
Could
let's
this
get
be
a comment.
another tie waiting to happen in the final results?
You have been waiting for that to happen for a long time, but I
Maybe
don't know
today
if
is the
anybody's
day.
going to grant that wish today or ever.
Well, go pull up on X right now. You can go on there and vote who you think should move on to the next round. It's at Nigeria Info ABJ on X, which you call Twitter. Go onto our page and let's know who you are rooting for.
Good to know that SWAT is listening.
Oh.
SWAT says, amazing. These kids are spitting fire. They're all dishing out their points with a lot of conviction.
Yes, and Innocent Wisdom says, are these kids real? I love this. I'm a proud member of the Nigeria Info family, is what Innocent Wisdom in Guagua says. Kudos to the organizers of this season 2. Kimberly and your team are breeding great products. And Yossi Kabiru, look at how passionate they are talking. So amazing.
Bright Chimezi addiction Giorgio. Perhaps the fire was just too hot for some pronunciation to come out well. Spare them. Well done, Bright Chimezi. Sometimes the heat of the moment, you turn words on its head. So yeah, we understand. There's room for that. All right, let's look at more of the comment on WhatsApp. It's time for God I read your message, deny or more. These guys, na guru. I think we need more programs like this to increase our lowering IQ due to the type of content we digest. The girl too deserves her accolade. Keep it coming, girl. You guys are just doing well. Keep it up. Shola from Gwagwalada sent that one in. James from Durumi says, these children will kill us, so they are too brilliant. May God continue to increase their... Why did death come to your mind when it came to their brilliance? They overwhelmed your mind with their brilliance. James from Durumi. And now the first speaker has added drama to his presentation. Now they're using specific empirical evidence into the argument. These guys are not smiling at all. Anyway, 1 million naira no be beans. Jay from Gariki Kim, it is fire for fire today. Abu Rachel didn't come to play either. Jay from Gariki. And I was thinking that I was watching Netflix only to be reserved or reserved back to factory setting, which is Nigeria Info. These kids are truly amazing. I'm learning a lot. Very educative, robust, unbiased, expository debate. Well done, kids. Obedience Man Emeka from NNPC Tower sent that one in. What a rebuttal. Wow. Everyone, Tokwe is giving a standing ovation. Oh boy, goosebumps all over. I think I enjoy it more when my students are not debating because I can now listen without tension. These kids are amazing. JJ from Government Science Secondary School, Tungamaje. Since Tungamaje is not in the picture today, JJ is enjoying the debate because half the time when your students are in the debate, you understand, you're a bit more petrified. This first set of debaters are brilliant and good to go. Do we have... Okay. Just that one person has to scale through. The judges have a lot to do. God bless Nigeria Info for bringing back our good old days of inter-school debate that is gone now. Federal, state, local government should bring back debate. Mr. Godwin from Area 11. Well, let's hear what's from those who will be flying our top debaters to Lagos for the national. They've got a message.
This is an infomercial.
Diamonds and Pearls Travels is a multi-award winning company whose aim is to demystify travel, make it affordable and accessible by providing seamless travel service like flights, hotels, tours, transfers, packages, visa assistance, cruises, and so much more. And this Easter, Diamonds and Pearls Travels have 2 destinations for families where they are guaranteed to have maximum fun because they have selected 2 destinations that will wow you and your kids. And they call it Easterlicious in Qatar from the 16th to 23rd of April, and also Easterlicious in Egypt from the 15th to 21st of April. These La Familia packages are for only families with children. So daddies and mommies, for inquiries or booking, call Diamonds and Pearls Travels on 0902 521 5421. Again, 0902 521 5421, or you can call 0813 741 2306. 0813 741 2306. So what are you waiting for? Be part of this beautiful experience. Diamonds and Pearls Travel Limited are proud sponsors of I Beg to Differ Secondary School Debate Tournament in Lagos, Abuja, and Port Harcourt.
That was an infomercial.
Let's talk on 95.1
Nigeria Info.
Abuja. The stage is set. The stakes are high. The arguments are strong. 10 debaters, one goal: to be crowned the ultimate I Beg to Differ champion. Who will outwit, outshine, and out-debate their way to the semi-finals? Find out in the quarterfinals of I Beg to Differ. Join us live on 95.1 Nigeria Info FM, 3 p.m. We are also live on Facebook and on YouTube at Nigeria Info ABJ. It's knowledge, wit, and strategy at its finest. Don't miss it. I Beg to Differ, where the smartest voices take the mic.
All right, someone is saying if it was me, diction would have been taking out verdict from our judges and from our chief judge Somi. Let's start with who supported the motion. Joseph Majesty. So for your presentation, your total aggregate is 9. Your rebuttal, the aggregate is a 6. Your closing, the rebuttal is a 6. Your style got you 21 and a half. Your diction got you 2. In total, you got 44 and a half. And for Abu Francis Helen, who begs to differ, for your presentation, you got a 9. In your rebuttal, you got a 9. In your closing, I beg your pardon, in your rebuttal, you got a 6. In your closing, you got a 6. In your style of presentation, you got a 23. In your diction, you got a 2. So in total, you get 46. So this means that Abu Francis Helen gets to the next round of the semis at this point in time. And to just let you know that the semis will have 5 of them, and there's still room to eliminate one person there, because after this week, when we get 5, we'd have to eliminate 1 at the end of the day, looking at the score point. All right. So congratulations. And Joseph Majesty Ojochegbe, you put up a very fiery, very brilliant, very exciting fight.
Yes,
but it is what it is at this point in time. Thank you so much for bringing your life and energy to the debate.
Thank you, ma'am.
All right, there we have it for this round of the debate. And want to say a very big thank you to our judges in the green room and to the sponsors of the program, Hamzat Lawal of Connected Development, Infinity Trust Mortgage Bank, 313 Bureau de Change, to Kolia Angel Nigeria Limited, who's been furnishing us with consolation prizes, Happiness Computers. We have Creative Fingers Cakes and Bite, 3J's Hotels and Apartments, number 1 hotel. Olivia Osai, our delectable diction judge, has been incredible. Well, we're done with the first set of debaters. We'll have the second join us in the studio for the next round of debate. And I will say thank you very much. But don't go away. We're coming back. Why did you guys leave so quickly before the cameras went off? Yeah.
Could be the
You
tension.
took a cue from her. She stood up and then he stood up and thought it was over. All right. So was it the tension or what? The cameras were still on you guys when you went off, but it's all good. It's all good. All right. Thank you very much for being a part of the debate. And I would wait for the next set of debaters. Stay with 95.1 Nigeria Info.
The stage is
Connection established.